Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'll be breaking down the MLB slate for Thursday, April 27th. We've only got a 4-game main slate on for today, so today's video is probably going to be a little bit shorter than normal since it's only a 4-game slate. There's not many plays at each position, but I'll still be giving you guys the players that I'm looking at. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so looking at pitcher today, I think pitcher is pretty straightforward. Since it's only a 4-game slate and you're limited with your options, Chris Sale, he is definitely the top pitcher on this slate by far. If you play on FanDuel and you can only roster one pitcher, just go ahead and put in Chris Sale. He's the best pitcher. If you don't play him today and he goes off, you're going to be screwed because he's going to be so highly owned. And he gets a great matchup, so I don't know why you would want to fade him. Maybe the price tag, but with the way he's looked this year, he is totally worth that price. On his 4 games out, he's put up 27, 29, 38, and 41 DraftKings points, so he has just been absolutely crushing it this year. I love Chris Sale today. He's going to be in every single lineup that I make, even if I play on FanDuel or DraftKings, whatever site, he's in every single one. He's by far the best pitcher, and if he goes off on this slate and you don't play him, you're going to be screwed. He's going to be so highly owned, so just lock in Chris Sale. He's the best pitcher on the slate by far. And then SP2 for DraftKings, this is where it kind of gets a little difficult. I think I'm going to be looking at Kendall Graveman today, getting a matchup against the Angels. The Angels, they're not that good of a hitting team. These teams just played on April 3rd, and Graveman did pretty well. He had 22 DraftKings points. He pitched 6 innings, had 7 strikeouts. So I do like Kendall Graveman today, especially at just 7,900. If you play Sale, you're going to need a cheaper SP2, and he does fit that build. And I think he's actually a little bit underpriced. He has pitched really well this year. Aside from that one game against Houston, he did pitch really well against the Angels and the Rangers, put up 22 and 26 DraftKings points. So I'm really liking Kendall Graveman as my SP2 today. He's probably going to be the guy that I target. At just 7,900, I think he is a little bit underpriced. A couple guys you could also target. I think Adam Wainwright is in consideration today. The Blue Jays, they have not looked good this year. They have really struggled. So I do think you can target Wainwright. I don't know if I would use him in cash, though. I think he's just a little bit too risky. As you can see in his box score, he did have a really good game against Milwaukee, put up 25 DraftKings points. But against the Yankees and Washington, he put up 3 DraftKings points and -2. So he definitely has the potential to get blown up. But I could see him pitching well, so he could be in consideration for 8,500. But when it comes for today's slate, and I'm looking for a cheap SP2, the guy that's most likely to hit value, I think that'd be Kendall Graveman today. So he's probably going to be the guy that I look at. Yeah, that's pretty much it for pitcher today. Let's go ahead and move on to catcher. All right, looking at catcher today, you don't really have any studs here, so this is going to be a position where you go for value. I really like Stephen Vogt today, getting a matchup against Ricky Nolasco. If you look at BVP, Vogt has done pretty well against Nolasco. In 12 at-bats, Stephen Vogt's had 4 hits. He's had 1 home run, and he's batted .333 against Nolasco. So he has seen him pretty well. I really like Stephen Vogt today, even at 3,500. I think he's a little bit underpriced. Ricky Nolasco is not a good pitcher, and Vogt's going to be getting the platoon advantage, so I really like him for catcher value. 3,500 is a little cheap. I also really like Yadier Molina at that same price tag, getting a matchup against Casey Lawrence. Lawrence is also not a very good pitcher. Molina has been pretty consistent as of late as well. In his last 4 games, he's put up 5, 3, 11, and 8 DraftKings points, so he has been getting the job done. I definitely think you can target Yadier Molina today for catcher value. 3,500 is a little bit too cheap, and Casey Lawrence is not a very good pitcher, so I do like him. And then one more guy I like today is Austin Hedges, getting a matchup against Taijuan Walker. I don't know if I'd use Hedges in cash just because he is a little inconsistent. As you look in his box score, he will definitely go off. He has great home run potential, but he can also put up some donuts. So I don't know if I would target him in cash games. But for tournaments, he has great power upside. He's already had 6 home runs this year, and he's going to be playing in a hitter-friendly park in Chase Field. That is a great hitter's park. I really like Austin Hedges today for catcher value. Going up against Taijuan Walker, he is not that good of a pitcher. He will definitely give up home runs. And Hedges is a great power hitter. I could definitely see him going deep. So if you're looking for catcher value, also like him at just 3K, he is definitely going to be on my radar. And yeah, there's some catchers that I like today. Let's go and move on to first base. All right, looking at first base today, definitely think this is going to be a position where I'm paying up. Paul Goldschmidt is a terrific play today if you can fit him in. He is really expensive at 5,500, but he gets a great matchup playing at home in Chase Field and going up against Jared Weaver. Jared Weaver is a terrible pitcher. There's not much I need to say about Goldschmidt. He's just a terrific hitter. I could definitely see him doing well today. The Diamondbacks, they should be able to score plenty of runs on Weaver. I really like Goldschmidt if you can fit him in, but 5,500 is very expensive. And if you play Chris Sale today, you're definitely going to need some value hitters. So it might be hard to fit him in, but if you can, he's a great play. I also really like Matt Carpenter today if you're looking to go a little bit cheaper. He gets a really good matchup against Casey Lawrence. He's going to be getting the platoon advantage today, going up against the righty. And I really like Carpenter's price today, just 4,400. That does seem a little bit too cheap. He has been a little inconsistent lately. He hadn't really been getting the job done. On his last 4 games, he's only put up 7, 7, 2, and 0 DraftKings points. But this is a really good matchup. Casey Lawrence really struggles against lefties. Carpenter, he hits righties very well. So I really like him. If you're looking to go cheap, if you don't want to pay up to the top for Goldschmidt, I do like Matt Carpenter today at 4,400. I definitely think he is in play. And there is one cheap value play that you can target. And that's Mitch Moreland getting a matchup against Masahiro Tanaka. Moreland is going to be getting the platoon advantage today, going up against the righty, and he does hit righties very well, so I definitely think you can target him today at just 3,100. That is very cheap. Tanaka, he is a solid pitcher, but he has definitely struggled this year. Mitch Moreland's actually been hitting the ball pretty well this year. He's batting .315. He's had 2 home runs, so I do like him if you're looking to go cheap at first base. I think I'm going to try and pay up for Goldschmidt if I can, but if I need value, Mitch Moreland is definitely going to be on my radar if I need value, but I'm probably just going to try and pay up for Goldschmidt. And yeah, there's some first basemen that I like today. Let's go and move on to second base. All right, looking at second base today, there aren't any studs here, so this is going to be another position where you're going for value or attacking the mid-range. I really like Yangervis Solarte today, getting a matchup against Taijuan Walker. Solarte has actually been mashing the ball lately. In his last 4 games, he's put up 11, 9, 11, and 11 DraftKings points, so he has been very consistent. The Padres are going to be getting a huge park upgrade today, going to Chase Field. That is a great hitter's park. I really like Solarte today. If you're looking to attack the mid-range at second base, he is a little cheap at $4K for the way he's been playing. You should definitely be a little bit more expensive than that. And this is a good matchup against Taijuan Walker. He is not a great pitcher, so I do like Yangervis Solarte at just $4K. I think that price tag is a little bit too cheap. I also really like Jed Gyorko today, getting a matchup against Casey Lawrence. Gyorko has absolutely been mashing the ball lately as well. In his last 4 games, he's put up 28, 8, 14, and 13 DraftKings points, so he has been really consistent. He's batting .340 this year, and he's already had 3 home runs. I really like Jed Gyorko today at second base. He is definitely too cheap at just 3,600, given the matchup against Casey Lawrence. Lawrence is a terrible pitcher. I really like the Cardinals today to put up some runs. Fantasy Labs currently has them projected to score 4.8 runs, which is very high. So I do like Jed Gyorko today, especially just 3,600. That price tag is very cheap. He is a great power hitter. I think he has a great chance to go deep today. I'm really liking him at second base. And then one more value play that you could target is Colton Wong at just 3,100. Colton Wong has absolutely been killing it lately. He's also been very consistent. In his last 4 games, he's put up 14, 5, 23, and 5 DraftKings points. So he has been really getting the job done. He gets another good matchup today against Casey Lawrence. Lawrence is a righty, and Wong is a lefty, so that's going to be the platoon advantage for Wong. The only thing I don't like about him, though, he is projected to bat 8th, which is never something you want. You don't really like targeting guys that are batting towards the bottom of the order. But with the way Wong has been playing lately, and with how many runs the Cardinals are projected to score today, you can definitely target him, especially if you're going to stack the Cardinals. He does fit that build well. He is very cheap at just 3,100. He seems like a pretty good value play today, so I do like him. If you're looking to go a little bit cheaper at second base, you can target him at just 3,100. And yeah, there's some second basemen I like today. Let's go and move on to third base. All right, looking at third base today, I think this is a position where you're paying up. There is really only one third baseman that I like today, and that's Jake Lamb getting a matchup against Jared Weaver. Lamb is by far the best third baseman on this slate. He's definitely going to be a guy that I try and pay up for today. Even at 4,600, I know that is a little expensive for him, but this is a great matchup against Weaver. Jake Lamb crushes righties, and Weaver is one of the worst right-handed pitchers in the league. I really like Jake Lamb today. He should definitely have a chance. He has a great chance to go deep against Weaver. Jared Weaver is one of the worst pitchers in the league, and he really struggles against the lefties, and Jake Lamb crushes righties. I really like him, especially since he's going to be playing at home in Chase Field, which is a great hitter's park. He's going to be the third baseman that I look at today. I don't think there are any other plays I really like here. If you're a BVP believer, you might can target Chase Headley today against Chris Sale, but that's probably not going to be something I do. But looking at his BVP numbers and 13 at-bats against Chris Sale, Chase Headley's had 5 hits and he's had 2 home runs. He has batted .385 against Chris Sale, so take that for what it's worth. But I'm probably not going to be on Chase Headley. I'm just going to be jamming Chris Sale into my lineups. I'm not going to be playing any Yankees today. But if you're a BVP believer, you might can target Chase Headley. I did mention Jed Gyorko at second base. You can also play him at third base on DraftKings. And that's pretty much it for third base. I think I'm just going to be paying up for Jake Lamb here. Or if I find a better second baseman than Gyorko, then I might put Gyorko in at third base. But probably just going to be playing Lamb here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for third base. Let's go and move on to shortstop. All right, looking at shortstop today, I don't think this is a position where I'm paying up to the very top. There are guys a little bit cheaper than the top guy that I like. Xander Bogaerts, he's definitely a good play today. But at 4,600, I don't really want to pay that price tag for him. I think there are better players worth paying up for. So I'm not going to be on him at 4,600. But looking at guys a little bit cheaper, I do really like Aledmys Diaz today, getting a matchup against Casey Lawrence. Diaz is a little bit little bit expensive at 4,200. But this matchup is really good. Casey Lawrence really struggles, so I really like Ledmus Diaz today. Like I said earlier, I definitely think the Cardinals are going to be able to put up some runs. If you're going to stack them today, you might want to include Diaz in that stack. He has been pretty consistent lately. In his last 4 games, he's put up 3, 14, 7, and 0 DraftKings points. Aside from that one game against Toronto, he was getting the job done. So I do like Ledmus Diaz at shortstop. He's probably going to be the guy that I target. There's one more guy that I do like for 100 less, and that's Chris Owings getting a matchup against Jared Weaver. I don't really know if I'd play Owings like as a one-off today. I think Owings is specifically a play if you're stacking the Diamondbacks. But he has absolutely been mashing the ball lately. In his last 4 games, he's put up 12, 0, 28, and 19 DraftKings points. He's batting 329 this year, which is pretty surprising. And he has had 2 home runs, so he has been showing off his pop. I do like him today. Like I said, though, I don't think I'd play him just as a one-off. I think I would only play him if you're going to stack the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks should definitely be able to put up some runs on Weaver, so I do like him if you're going to stack them. But like I said, if you're going to play just a one-off from that team, I don't think it'd be Owings. I'd probably just try and get up to Goldschmidt. But I definitely think Owings is in play. He does get a really good matchup, and he has been hitting the ball really well, so you can definitely target him. Yeah, that's pretty much it for shortstop. There really isn't much value here. I think you're either going to pay up for Bogarts, Diaz, or Owings. Those are really the guys I'm going to be looking at. But yeah, that's pretty much it for shortstop. Let's go and move on to outfield. All right, looking at outfield today, there are some really good value plays that I like here. I'm probably not going to be spending up at outfield. But obviously, if you want to spend up, Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, AJ Pollock, all these guys are great plays. They all get really good matchups. But looking at value, there are some really good value plays that I like at outfield today. David Peralta, he's one of my favorite plays today at just 3,800. He is way too cheap, and he gets a really good matchup against Jared Weaver. Peralta, he crushes righties, and Jared Weaver is one of the worst right-handed pitchers in the league. Peralta's just been on an absolute tear lately. On his last 4 games, he's put up 10, 26, 8, and 27 DraftKings points. He's probably the best value play on this slate at 3,800. He should definitely be over 4K for this matchup. I really like David Peralta today. He's probably going to be in all my lineups, especially with that price tag. He is just way too cheap. Also really like Andrew Benintendi today for outfield value at just 3,700. He does get a good matchup against Tanaka. Benintendi will be getting the platoon advantage. And he's been hitting the ball pretty well this year. In his last 4 games, he's put up 5, 12, 0, and 19 DraftKings points. He's batting 361 this year, which is very solid. So I do like him if you're looking for outfield value. 3,700 does seem a little bit too cheap. In his last 2 games, his price was over 4K, so you're getting a really good discount on him. So I do like him today, just 3,700 for outfield value. One more outfield value play I like today is Chris Davis at that same price tag. If you look at BVP, Chris Davis has done pretty well against Nolasco. In 15 at-bats, he's had 5 home runs. In 15 at-bats, Chris Davis has had 5 hits, and he's had 1 home run against Nolasco. He's batted 333 against him, so he has seen him very well. So I definitely like Chris Davis today for outfield value, just 3,700. His price should definitely be over 4K. You all know Chris Davis is one of the best power hitters in the league. Nolasco gives up a ton of home runs, so I really like Chris Davis today to go deep. He's already had 7 home runs this year. I think he can add to that total today. So I also like him for outfield value, just 3,700. Those are a couple outfield value plays I like today. You can definitely pay out for Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, AJ Pollock. All these guys are great plays, but I think outfield's going to be a position where I'll look to go for value. Those 3 guys that I like at outfield, I think all of them are very good value plays on this slate. They just seem a little bit too cheap. But yeah, that's pretty much it for outfield. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my top 5 plays for tonight. Alright guys, so this is half of my lineup filled out with one of the pitchers that I like for tonight, along with some hitters that I like. If you guys want to get the other half of the lineup, then follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. I will be tweeting out how my lineups do. Either if I win or lose, I'm still going to show you guys the full lineup so you guys can see the plays that I was on. And if you want to get lineups, then contact me on Twitter. That's how I give them out. So be sure to message me there if you want to get lineups. They're $5 a day, or you can get a week of lineups for $25. So follow me on Twitter if you guys are interested in that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you never want to miss out on any videos, then please be sure to turn on post notifications. Just click the bell icon next to my YouTube name, and that'll notify you every time I upload. So if you never want to miss out on any videos, please be sure to do that. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys.
We have so much in common. We argue all the time. You